What's up, brand builder? Stephen Horahan here at brandmasteracademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn what brand trust is and how it builds consumer confidence. So you can understand how our primitive bias towards confidence and belief is critical for modern purchasing decisions and brand loyalty. Now look, building trust is vital to any brand strategy. For all our complexities, we as humans, we're pretty simple. We've survived millions of years because we've learned to cooperate in tribes, in social circles, and the core of all of this is trust. It's part of our psychology to choose who we interact with based on trust levels. We choose to talk to confide in, and to share our time with people who we trust. And we avoid people we believe who are inauthentic or untrustworthy. We apply the same process to our buying behaviors as well. Consumers prefer to interact with brands that they trust, making brand trust a hugely important differentiator in the market. When it comes to that critical purchasing decision, consumers' trust is a fundamental decision-making factor that few brands have the luxury of bypassing. Therefore, building consumer trust and subsequently a reputation of trustworthiness enhances brand equity, market share, and ultimately revenue and profits. Now, before I dive into how to build brand trust, let's define the concept a little bit better. So brand trust is the measure of the extent customers believe a brand will deliver on its brand promises. If a brand consistently meets the target audience's expectations, trust in the brand grows. Increasingly, we expect modern brands to be true to themselves, meaning that brand values clearly influence all brand behavior. If a brand presents a consistent customer experience that supports its values, the audience perceives the brand to be authentic. Therefore, brand authenticity is an important factor within brand trust. And again, it's helpful to humanize brands to understand the concept of brand trust. Just like with humans, we trust brands that seem to know what they're doing, do what they say they will, and don't lie to us or let us down. Brands that seem incompetent and break promises damage the relationship they have built with consumers. Now look, this isn't rocket science here. We all know what builds and breaks trust with the people around us. It's no different with brands either. Elements of brand experience that affect trust include customer satisfaction with the brand's product or service, the perception that the product or service has in the market. Is it worth it? The social proof and testimonials, quality and speed of customer service, consistency of the customer experience through all touch points, protection of personal data, advocacy, or how the brand comments on social media. Now look, these are all examples of elements that build brand trust, but ultimately it is the customer's experience with that brand and how that experience makes them feel that builds trust over time. So why does brand trust matter? Why is it so important? Well, having high brand trust can convince potential buyers that your brand is the best option amongst many in the market. In the modern marketplace today, brand trust matters more than ever because there are so many brands out there in the market and consumers are looking for brands that they can trust. That's because of several factors coming together to elevate the importance of trust. Number one, trust is a competitive advantage. With so many brands out there, it is difficult to retain customer loyalty. Customers who encounter a brand experience that doesn't live up to their expectations can simply choose an alternative provider in a competitive market. If a brand behaves in a way that conflicts with their perceived brand image, they'll lose brand equity along with its audience as well. Now, this is particularly true with Gen Zers and millennials who are more perceptive of mixed messaging when it comes to brands. They are very aware of what messages brands put out there into the marketplace, and consciously or subconsciously, they are looking for contradictions of that message because they are looking for reasons to not trust a brand, because that is how our primitive brains work. If a brand disappoints them, consumers will simply head elsewhere. Now, on the flip side of this, brands that build trust over time, over long periods through delivering on their promise time and again, tend to get a little bit more leeway if there is a one-off mistake. Loyal customers are more forgiving to brands that they trust. If they do have a bad experience or a disappointing experience with a trusted brand, loyal customers see it as an exception to the rule and are prepared to forgive those one-off mistakes. They're more willing to give a brand that has built trust another chance to rebuild its reputation. But make no mistake, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Brand trust is difficult to earn, but the brand loyalty that you get in return for that trust means a one-off mistake may not be so damaging to your brand. Number 2, trust encourages word-of-mouth marketing. Consumers today expect a smooth customer experience that goes above and beyond what used to be the norm. And with social media as a vehicle for word-of-mouth marketing, brands get punished with terrible reviews if their customer service is simply not up to scratch. Customer buying habits have changed. With social media, consumers will look to social proof and testimonials to gauge whether to trust a brand or its products. We tend to be a lot more research-minded today, and that's because that research is so easily available. Those reviews are so easily available. It doesn't take us much to jump online and to have a look what other people are saying about a brand that we are considering. We tend to believe that if it's good enough for others and other people are happy with their purchases and they've had a good experience, then we are going to have a good experience as well. While negative reviews can damage trust levels, positive reviews on review websites, they really do work to entice potential customers by building a picture of a trusted brand that they will be able to trust with their money. And that's why brands should be developing trusted customer relationships as a key element of their brand and marketing strategy. If you're able to build that trust with your customer, they're far more likely to choose you not just once, but time and again. Number 3, distrust is the status quo and trust is rare. According to the 2022 Edelman Trust Barometer, consumer trust is at an all-time low. The report says distrust is now society's default position. Their market research points to the damaging effect of the pandemic, with distrust of the government and the media to unprecedented levels than they've ever been before. From a branding perspective, what does this all mean? Well, what's important is to realize that consumers now look to businesses for leadership because they don't trust the government the way they used to. They don't trust political leaders the way they used to either. The report states that consumers are increasingly drawn to companies that take a stand. They choose to purchase from businesses that align with their political or their social beliefs. The difference is that consumers actually trust that brands will walk the walk with their brand values, because if they don't, they'll take their business elsewhere. Building brand trust by embedding brand values into everything that you do as a brand, whether it's business actions, products and services, or marketing campaigns, it will help to show that you're a company with beliefs and you're willing to advocate for them. Now, of course, this stance will resonate with your target audience if, of course, they share those same beliefs. And again, building brand trust is not about getting a one-off purchase. It's about loyalty and advocacy. It's about building a real relationship with that consumer so they purchase once and then come back time and again, and not only come back time and again themselves, but to bring their friends and family along with them. Building a trusting relationship with consumers leads to brand loyalty. If you show up with the same excellent brand experience through all channels, you show the customer that you are dependable. Customers know what they're getting every single time they do business with you. If that experience resonates with the audience, then you build an emotional connection, which brand loyalty is based on. So why is brand loyalty so valuable for brands? Well, loyal customers will buy a brand's product even if it isn't the cheapest. They'll often exclusively buy from a brand instead of its competitors. They're interested in new products from those brands. They spread your message for you, increasing brand awareness. They're happy to engage with your marketing campaigns, and they will defend your brand's reputation against criticism to a point. So it goes without saying that shaping the perception of your brand as a trustworthy brand in your audience's mind sets you up for success. Now look, the concept of brand trust feels so familiar because it feeds the idea that the way we connect with people and brands are ultimately the same. We look for familiarity and commonalities to resonate before subconsciously analyzing whether or not this is someone we wouldn't mind showing up again in our lives. The way brands earn trust is the same way people earn trust. We don't need to overcomplicate this. Be genuine, display who you are so they can identify commonalities, and then follow through relentlessly on doing what you say you're going to do. That's how you earn brand trust, increase consumer confidence in your brand, and ultimately increase customers, sales, and revenues.